up, everybody, and welcome back to Three-Sided Box Prediction Center here for the NHL Playoffs Round 2. I'm your host, David. This is Michael, our resident Preds fan. I am a Senators fan. My team's not in it, thus I am not wearing a jersey. However, I am a Super Bowl champion, so in the end,
it all makes sense.
Everything's A-okay in the world. Alright, so your Preds are obviously still in it. It's a pretty solid matchup. Thank you for the text. But it was a little bit more of a fight than you guys initially thought. At least
I give a lot of credit to the Avalanche, sticking with it. They got a really good young team. One of the best top lines in hockey, and I really like their coach and their youth movement, and I think that they're going to be a really good team for a long time.
Yeah, so go Avs, but we're gonna jump ahead to round 2. We're gonna have a podcast with all of our thoughts of last round, as well as a more in-depth analysis of the second round coming out probably Friday. We're a little bit late. We're gonna film everything beforehand.
Well, I mean, the round 1 just finished tonight.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
It's been a really
it's very tight schedule.
Very bad scheduling by the NHL.
Mind you, the last 2 years they've crossed over first and second rounds.
I know. The Preds were in Game 7 against the Ducks in round 2.
Yeah, exactly. So, so the podcast is gonna be a bit late. We're gonna film everything prior to, or record, I should say, for the podcast, just so there's no bias about who wins or loses. But because of exam schedules, it's gonna come out a day late. But whatever, it doesn't matter. And also, all of the I should have mentioned this in the last video, but all of the matchups will be in the description below with all the times in this video, not in the podcast. Because the podcast we just ramble, whereas this it's set stuff that I could fix and whatever. So with that, round 2, Eastern Conference, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning hosting the newly crowned, literally a few minutes ago, Boston Bruins. What do you got?
Well, this is the matchup I was expecting. 2 of the best teams in the East. Boston got the better of them in the regular season. Boston showing some signs of, I wouldn't say goalie controversy, but definitely some signs of youth not being able to step up in the moment in games 5 and 6, even though Anderson played exceptionally well. But regardless, still kind of choked it up a little bit until game 7. Well, now they're playing a better opponent, kind of like a faster, better Toronto Maple Leafs, a little bit similar. So, it should be an interesting matchup, but with that being said, I do think Boston has a little bit of the Lightning's number. I think it's definitely going 7, and I personally think it's just going to be a huge, crazy, speedy series, one of the best series of the playoffs, in my opinion, and but I got Boston coming out on top in 7.
Oh, okay. I'm going to give it to the Lightning in 7. I was originally going to say 6, but you were right. Boston does have the Lightning's number a little bit this past year. So I think the Lightning are going to take the cup. That's my prediction. I was hoping for the Flyers. I thought Philly was going to have a little bit of magic. Sixers move on.
Well, they did until the refs intervened and don't call a trip when it's obviously
yeah, but when they lost, though, they got killed in some of those games. So it's kind of on them too. They had opportunities. So whatever. We're not here to talk about that. So I got the Lightning in 7. I really like the Lightning. They had a pretty strong outing against the Devils.
And they're having a lot of rest.
And they're having a little bit more rest than the Bruins. But I'm happy for the Bruins fans. I like them. I like Boston, and especially after last year's heartbreak to Ottawa. Everyone expected us to lose.
Well, so they lost it from 1 goal. In Game 6 at home. That's pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was Eric Carlson. So, anyways, I got Lightning 7. You got Boston 7. It's gonna be a fun matchup. Probably one of the more interesting ones of round 2. So with that, let's move on to our next matchup.
All right. So next up, we got. What we all expected in a sense. For the 3rd year in a row, in the second round, we got the Penguins up against the Capitals, with the Capitals having home ice. Never seen this again. Right? Before, excuse me. So yeah, make your pick.
The Penguins have won 9 consecutive playoff matchups, and they've won 9 consecutive playoff matchups against the Capitals, I believe. And 1/3 of all Capitals playoff eliminations have been
from the Penguins.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy.
It's basically the Penguins, the Islanders, and like who's the Rangers.
Yeah.
Those like all the teams that always eliminate them.
Yeah. So all their division rivals. So,
basically.
Look, I really like the Capitals. I really want them to get over this hump and finally at least get to the East Final, which maybe then that would give them a little more motivation to stock up and be that super team that they were a few years ago, and then maybe make a push again for the Cup, because I don't think they're the best team in the East. But I gotta give it to the Penguins. It's the obvious pick. I'm gonna pick Penguins in 6. Maybe a 7th game, but just to keep it interesting. I really hope the Capitals win. I like them a lot. I don't like the Penguins that much, and like that would be amazing for them to dethrone the 2-time champions and their arch rivals.
Yeah.
So let's go Caps. I hope you guys win, but I gotta go with the Penguins. It's stupid to not bet with them. So.
How can you even pick the Caps after what happened last year and the year before, where they had better teams than the Penguins and now they're worse? Yeah, I mean, yes, they have a youth movement, but still they're still worse. They don't have that experience, not playing as well. I mean, like how could you go against the Penguins? I mean, I hate them, but they won back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
You know, they took care of business. I know Malkin and Hagelin aren't going to be in for Game 1, but it's next man up for them. They know how to win. That's as simple as that. I hate them. Can't stand them. I hate their fans. I think they're all plastic fans. But you know what? They know how to win, and I can't deny it. So with that being said, I agree with you. I have the Penguins in 6. The only way I see the Capitals having a chance of winning this series is if they take the first 2 games at home.
Yeah.
If the Penguins steal 1 game, they're done. They're done. It's over. But yeah, I hope for a Caps win like you, but I just don't see it happening. Pens in 6.
So you both got the Penguins in 6. Let's move on to the West.
Next up in the Western Conference, we got my matchup. My Nashville Predators up against the Winnipeg Jets. The most anticipated second round matchup since basically December, where everybody's hyping up this series. Hopefully we'd be facing off in the second round, and that's exactly what we have. The regular season games have been heart attacks waiting to happen, and throughout the regular season, regardless of whether the Preds won or lost, I've just been thinking to myself, if we play them in the playoffs, I don't know how I'm going to keep a full set of hair. So with that being said, I can't pick, it's our rule, but I will be giving my comments shortly after you give yours.
This is a tough one.
Make your pick.
I'm predicting the Preds to win. My tough choice is in how many. I see 5 for some reason, but I think 6. But a part of me sees 7. Now, I'm just gonna say, because I don't want to play the safe route, I'm gonna say Preds in 6. It kind of is the safe route, but I feel like 7 is what most people are predicting. I don't really believe in the Jets that much, although they had a great matchup in the first round, and who they play again?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, and the games that they won, they killed the Wild. So
besides Game 1.
Yeah. But they're not playing the Wild. They're playing an actual team now. So, look, Preds are winning this series 100%. It's just how much of a fight the Jets are going to put up.
I just hope you don't jinx us.
Well, I picked you guys last time to win in 5 versus the Avs.
Oh, well, that's the Avs. I mean, like, everybody kind of expects
I don't believe in the Jets. They're proving me wrong slowly, but I'm still not buying it just yet. And you guys have all the experience. They don't. I think Hellebuck's finally gonna show his true colors. I think he's gonna do what Pecorine did in the final last year and just shit the bed. So yeah, Preds in 6. Fuck it.
Well, look, I think this series, out of all the series, has the makings of going 7. I know I said Bruins and Tampa. It definitely has the makings to go in 7, but I think this is literally like, I mean, you're considering the matchups. I mean, every game has basically been like almost a 1-goal game. I think one game we dominated them and it was like 3-1. We won. It was a pretty convincing win, but that's about it. They came off like a back-to-back, and honestly, like, it's gonna be a really tough matchup. It's really hard. Like, the Jets have a good team, but I mean, like, if you look at top to bottom, I think that besides Pittsburgh, teams that end up ousting the opposing team usually has a better defense and better goaltending. or more experienced defense and more experienced goaltending. And I think that the Preds have the edge there. But like I said, I'm not making a pick. I'm just saying that's what it comes down to. That's what it tends to come down to. And the Preds have the deepest roster in the NHL. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of looking forward to it, kind of not, because I know I'm going to be super frustrated if we lose and completely disappointed. But if we were to lose, we would lose to a good team. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so I got the Preds in 6. But I could see it going 5 or 7, but 100% Preds are winning next game. And for our last matchup of round 2, the one I dreaded the most, we got the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks. Vegas swept the Kings.
Allowed 3 goals throughout the whole
which
series.
I predicted the opposite, but the Kings only led in 5 the whole series. Like in reality,
well, like I think every game has been was a 1-goal game.
Yeah. So look,
I think.
I don't know what happened to the Kings. I don't really care. I come off as if I hate the Knights. I know it, but it's not that I hate the Knights. I just don't like expansion teams
Coming in.
Yeah, and like just stealing the show. And it's a little bit of jealousy because my team sucked. But it's not just expansion. It's just teams in general that are supposed to be shit and are good, and it's the hype train. I think that's what it is. It's more hype than anything. That's what drives me nuts. But anyways, who you got?
Well, look, I'm the person that predicted the Sharks to beat the Ducks.
I didn't give them that either.
I was right. I didn't predict them to beat them in that fashion. The Ducks were a fucking joke. Sorry for swearing, but they were a joke. Let's be honest. They got killed by the better team. I'm happy the Sharks proved me right. But the thing is with the Sharks is that usually in round 2, they usually end up winning this round 2 series. Like, I can't think of a time where they lost a round 2 series. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because they're finally in their groove. There's still minimal pressure. It's not like they're on the big West stage or the big league stage of the Stanley Cup. So I don't know. I feel like this is a good recipe for the Sharks. They're a good road team. They got a great home ice, and I don't know. They just know how to get it done sometimes in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go with the Sharks in 7. Golden Knights impressed me, but I just think that experience will carry over this time, and they're not playing a slow Kings team. They're playing a team that isn't fast, but definitely has some speed to it and definitely some youth to it. So I got the Sharks in 7.
I'll give the Knights some credit. So with that, I'm gonna predict them to lose in 6. I was originally gonna say 5, but I was just thinking about the last matchup, and they were close games, but they were slightly always tilted in the Knights' favor. Like the Kings never really had like the control of any part of the game. So, look, say what you want about how I feel or whatever, but like this team will not be good next year. There is no way they will be good. They cannot sustain this because they will not have all their free agents back. It's just not gonna happen. Especially a lot of these guys are coming off career years and they're going to ask for a shit ton of money. And
William
they're not
Karlsson's, Marsha shows.
I just hope Ottawa doesn't buy into this bullshit and sign some of these guys because I don't think any of them are going to be good next year. But anyways, this doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's not about my team. I'm going to predict the Sharks in 6 to win this one. So you got Sharks in 7. I got Sharks in 6. And with that, thank you so much for watching, guys. Looks like an interesting matchup. Way better second round than the first round. The first round was kind of a joke for some of the series. Especially the 2 sweeps. So it's gonna be interesting. This is where shit really like starts to roll. This is where like you start. The first round you're kind of weeding out the teams that you know don't deserve it. Second round is kind of like the teams that do deserve it, and third round is obviously the elites. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Smash that like button, not video. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the video with your friends. We really appreciate the love. Post your pics down below. We love to hear what you guys have to say. And stay tuned for some anime videos that I'm coming out with. Some My Hero Academia reacts. Some trying to pronounce anime/Japanese words and guess the anime quiz. We filmed a shit ton of that, so there might be literally 10 videos.
Maybe.
So we filmed for over an hour. So if I split that up within 7 to 10 minute spans, it could be like a decent little series. And the My Hero Academia, I'm gonna film and react to the whole season. I think it's 25 episodes. Not like most of you give a shit whoever's watching this, but whoever anime fans are still, interested, I will be doing that. And if I feel comfortable editing and recording, and if people actually give a shit about my reactions, all I do is watch anime basically. And summer's here, and I'm gonna go on this crazy binge, and I would love to film more of it. So we'll see how everything plays out, but for now we're going to stick to My Hero Academia. So, and for all the anime fans, if you have any shit that you want me to watch on and off camera, shoot it down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. So with that, thank you so much for watching, guys. Smash the like button, subscribe, share, and we will see you all for round 3 and for our podcast. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and take care.